Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Hey,
How's it
Sean.
going?
Yeah, how you doing? Good?
I'm doing great, and I feel, judging by Kateri's little sun on her face, we've spent the last couple of weeks in different places than one another. So, Kateri, were you at Coachella, if I understand correctly?
Yes, I went to Coachella last weekend. So
For the first Baychella. So what was it all
Yes.
about? What was it like?
there are a lot of people there. It is packed. It was my first Coachella. It was awesome, though. Great lineup, especially Saturday had some great people. You know, it's a beast. It's about 75% amazing, like super enjoyable, great music, and then 25% just, festival misery.
It has a reputation of kind of being like the real bougie festival. Did it feel more sort of upper crusty than it might feel at Lollapalooza or something like that?
I suppose in some aspects, like you get your celebrities like Justin Bieber or like some of the like social, like the Kardashians or whoever. And, some other random celebrities are there. So I guess you have that. But, there's so many people. There's 6 stages. It's just a bigger operation there. Yeah.
I heard that Beyonce's own mother was concerned about her playing Coachella because she's like, they're not going to go for what you do. And of course they did. But even Beyonce's mom apparently had some concerns about it.
It's called Baychella now.
Oh, yeah. Now it's just her festival.
The only moment when I felt like she wasn't in front of her people was when she was looking for the crowd to join on the Red Lobster line. And I felt like the whole crowd was like, what do we do right now? I don't know exactly.
Butterbean biscuits.
Yeah.
Can we counterpoint a little bit, Kateri, with your experience at South by Southwest? How did that go for you, and how did it feel different than Coachella?
Yeah, it's so different. It's like, it's kind of like big acts versus smaller unknown acts that'll maybe be like in 2 years' time or a year, be on the like earlier stages at Coachella. Like Sigrid, for example, was at South by maybe a year or 2 ago, and then she's now performing on, I think, the main stage earlier in the day. So it's kind of, you can see some stuff that, if you pay attention at South by, that will get big eventually. But yeah, South by is just so spread out, and you're at different venues, and Coachella is more centralized, even though some of the stages are about a mile away from each other.
Yeah, I've never been there myself.
Yeah, it's, you're kind of, more trapped at Coachella. In this festival grounds all day.
Did you see acts at South by Southwest that totally won you over?
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a few that, Gang of Youth was really great. Starcrawler was really memorable. She has a whole, like, performance art that she does with her show. But yes, there's always a few people every year where we're like, oh, wow, they were awesome. Really great bands.
We had Gang of Youths in our studio, and I actually got to do the interview. And the producer came in maybe 30 minutes before we were talking. She was like, nicest band ever. And I have never gotten handshakes from like roadies and bass players, and everybody was just going, this is awesome. And they put on such a spectacular performance in front of 2 people, in front of me and the camera guy. And I was just, that dude is like uncomfortably earnest, but I really believe he feels that positive about the earth and the spirit. I kind of roll my eyes when people are like, I've been reading a lot of philosophy and now I wrote a rock album. But honestly, I want to read the same books as him to feel what he's feeling right now.
That's great. I look forward to hearing
Kanye's writing
them.
a philosophy book on Twitter.
I guess yesterday he tweeted, truth is my gym or something like that, or it was a string of metaphors.
Yeah, I feel like Kanye is feast or famine, and right now we are feasting on a ton of comments on his social media. Question for both you folks about Neko Case, which is one of these artists that we just absolutely love. And I feel like she has a way, from the press release, from the artwork, from everything, it always feels like a moment when her record comes out. Have you guys had a chance to check out that first single, Bad Luck, and do you have thoughts about where Neko's at?
I have, and I love it. I saw the video that she posted with her buddies Kelly Hogan and Nora O'Connor-Keene singing back up with her, and it's a great song. And I love how she mixes up the style of her songs a lot, often within the same album. And that song struck me as one of the popular songs I've heard her do. It was excellent. I mean, I love that she just does what she feels like doing. Like, I love T-Bone Burnett had, I thought, such a nice compliment about her music, where he said, she's an artist, she can't be bothered with what she's supposed to do. She just does what feels right to her. And I remember seeing him at one of her concerts at the Greek in L.A. and I was like, oh, it's so great that T-Bone Burnett's a fan. What higher compliment can you get than that? You know. And I'm always interested in whatever she's going to do next, and I just love her whole body of work. Great live performer, and she's so funny. She's so funny between songs. Yeah, I love pretty much everything about her.
It's interesting. The studio she was recording in burnt down, I believe, during recording.
Yeah, I think her home, she said in the press release that her home burnt down. I believe at the time there was some question as to whether it was her studio complex or her home exactly. But to come out and put out a good record after so much tribulation is a tribute to how good she is an artist.
I hope she can rebuild and that everything's okay.
Well, I guess that is some real life bad luck, but she did turn it in to some good music. So I'm definitely excited for June 1st when that record drops.
I was excited to finally see John Prine at Radio City last Friday. I'd never seen a show at Radio City in all my years in New York, and it was such a great, which is so embarrassing. I moved here 21 years ago, and it's the first show I've seen at Radio City, but it was a perfect first show to see. It was him with Sturgill Simpson and Brandi Carlile, and thanks to Kateri and Gio, I was able to go. And so it was such a great first show to see there, and he fantastic, and it was the day his album came out, and so that's a great memory to have.
That's
and he played our show last week, and he was fantastic.
Yeah. It's the first time the three of them had played together ever.
Oh, that's so great.
You know, Brandi's played with John a ton, and Sturgill, I think, has also played with John, and I think Brandi and Sturgill have also played, but never the three of them.
I'm so glad they were together, and it was funny. Sturgill did kind of an opening set, and he said, John Prine is an American treasure, and he's also one of the 4 people in Nashville that'll still talk to me. But I thought that was pretty funny. It was a great show all around.
Thank you guys so much for talking about music, and we'll do it again soon.
Okay,
all right,
thanks,
sounds
Sean.
Great. Bye.
Bye now.